Okay, welcome back. One last quick thing here. Again, I've drawn a transversal, two parallel lines, but this time I've given you the measure of one of the 8 angles that's created when you draw two parallel lines in a transversal. This angle here is 105 degrees. And what I'm going to ask you, and what they quite often ask you in tests, is find out the size of all of the rest of the angles, the other 7 angles here. And all you need is 1 in order to find out the measure of the rest of them. So here is how I'm going to do it. First of all, I'm going to use my knowledge that vertically opposite angles are equal. So if vertically opposite angles are equal, I find an X there. That's an X shape with those 2 lines. So if that's 105, this is also 105. Okay, next, and there's many ways you could do this, but next I might find a Z shape. So I might put my hand over that and cover that. I might go for this Z here, put my hand and cover that, and I know that this 105 must be equal to this 105, because using the Z shape I found alternate angles which I know must be equal. Okay, next I know that this 105 must be equal to this 105, because again, if I cover this, I've got my X, whoops, can hardly see it there, my X, and I've created vertically opposite angles, so this has to be 105 also. Whoops, 105 degrees. Next, so I have all those 105s. The next thing to notice is I could just say, look, that and that are equal because they're corresponding. This and this are equal because they're corresponding as well if I was using my F's. Upside down F over here, backwards F over here to show that these are both equal. But now I want to move on. So one thing that we didn't mention so far, but you have done it with Mr. Mernan, is supplementary angles. So 2 angles which add up, I suppose, to 180 degrees. So we know the angle on a straight line is 180 degrees. So this here, this whole angle, must be 180 degrees because this is a straight line. So 105 from 180 is 75. These 2 angles must add up to 180. But also we said that this and this are interior angles. They have to add up to 180. So we could have found it that way also. 105 and 75, 180. And from here it's very straightforward. I just have to say, well, they're vertically opposite, so this must be 75. Okay, this and this are alternate, so that must be 75 degrees. This and this are vertically opposite, so they have to be equal. So this must be 75 degrees. And what you'll notice, and an important thing to take from this, is that when you have 2 parallel lines in a transversal, you create 8 angles, but 4 of them are equal to 4 of them. In other words, you're really only creating 2 different sized angles. So 105 and 75. There's no other different measure here. There's always only 2 sizes of angles, and 4 of them are going to be the same size. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 of them are going to be same size, some other size. So once you found one, you know that 3 others are going to be the same size as it, and then to find the second angle, which all the other 4 are, you just have to subtract this one from 180. Okay, just before I go, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of homework. 2 short questions. I'll try and post it as a picture as well, so that you'll, just in case you can't get this from the video. But the first question is just identifying pairs of alternate, corresponding and vertically opposite angles. And the second question is, given that, this angle is 60 degrees, can you find the measure of these other angles?